Hello, gentlemen. I'm going to start this railing. I want to show the process real quick for you guys. Basically, I'm a little bit sick today, but basically it starts with a curve. So my voice is going to be a little weird. You start with a curve, you see that the points are there. Let me increase the size of those points so you guys can actually see something. A little bit better. There you go. So whenever we did the initial over here, I created a curve, right? By just pressing enter, you can even adjust. I ended up going to the grid itself, like I press X and I can go to snapping to grid right there. Just gonna turn it on. So from this curve, I created this bevel, right? As you can see, I'm changing the bevel through just pressing point and drag, so it increases or decreases, but we don't need it. And then I create a polycut. So this polycut, I'm just gonna show the bevel settings so you guys can have it. 0.25, and I did like 12 divisions. So then what I want to do is on the bevel itself, there's a group called point fillet edges. I'm typing in a corner, and whenever I do this, basically I'm removing the corners. It has to be edges, and if I go here, I have the corners only. So I do exclamation point corners. Okay. So whenever I do this, I send these guys to a different way, right? So I have the bevel curve. Um, what I'm trying to do here is basically I'm going to transform, right? Because I want it to go two divisions up. Okay. So I'm going to try to show this. And on the corners, I do the same, right? And then I fuse it, which I got called this group horizontal, which is not actually a group, it's just a null. But then I get the bevel curve in, right, the curve out of that, and then start creating the vertical columns for it, right? And what we can do here is we get the corners, right, and we enable this guy right here, as you guys can see. But at the same time, the one over here on the line has 0.7 and 0.3. So you guys can see, like, even from front view, there's a little gap right here, right? And what we can do here is, since I know there is a height of that way, I need to get this height to be right here too. So I'm just gonna type it correctly. So we can go there and, like, you guys can see, okay, we're adding uh, the columns, the main columns, they're going to the bottom, and the columns that are going to be the top, together with the vertical, you get it to do look like this. So enable fuse for those ones, and we got to get the bottom parts. Actually, not the bottom, sorry. This is actually the bevel points. What we do here, I enable the ends of this curve, which is the neutral curve. When we get it, I want to create the ends of this curve. How do I do that? So I'm going to drop down over here. There's point valence, okay? And as soon as you have that point valence, you're going to see, oh, look at how I'm actually selecting the point valence right there. So I'll only select less ends. You can do that by group range as well, but I find that easier. So then I add, because I want to just have those points, and then I copy, because if I go over here, like on the curves out, I just want those tubes to actually get me the the points of the end right here, which are getting right there. So if we're gonna go over here, I have the initial curve. Let me just, I have this initial the curves out, right? And I have the group itself, or the boundaries. On this guy, I call it bevels. I'm putting 2 points, enable bounding objects. So let's just say I didn't have anything. So you can see that it's causing this uh, points over here to get actually grouped by this boundary. And then I select be a polypath. You gotta do this because it can actually cause issues with the bevel. So you guys can see I end up creating the last end of the bevel. I'm gonna put it here. And then polywire, you can choose a thickness. It's not a big deal. Um, if you guys go to the settings right there, if you guys want to see mine right here, so you guys see 0.025. Point valence, it doesn't matter. You can do like 5 is okay. And I can choose how many uh, I want over here, but I think that 12 is good enough. And then I go to the bottom right here, which I see a box, right? This box, because I have those points, I want to make sure that I have bases on them, right? So I'm actually creating box with bevels right here. And then I join together the railings all itself by itself, put the normals and railing out. And that's pretty much it.